You're listening to episode 83 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Josh Handt. Oh, wait, that's me. Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Handt, and welcome to the Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we dive into what makes an awesome lifestyle. From relationships to money mindset, nutrition to fitness, emotional health to peak performance, we bring you on an amazing journey to unleashing your human potential. All right, guys, this episode is going to be a little bit about me, and I figured it's been some time, so I want to share a little bit. But I think it's important for those that are listening, like yourself, to know who you're listening to, what's my background, what do I enjoy to do, what am I actually looking to do in life, why am I doing this podcast? So I'm a Dr. Josh Handt. I'm a chiropractor, been practicing since 2006 in New York City. And I absolutely love taking care of people. There's nothing like actually helping someone get well, not just feel better. It's a misconception of chiropractic. It's a feel-good profession, but it's actually being a health profession. We actually unleash people's human potential by removing nervous system interference. So I absolutely love doing that because people may come in with a certain ailment, and the crazy thing is if they're coming in with low back pain, those same nerves that go to the low back go to the digestive system. And I may get, a testimonial from a patient inadvertently when they go, does this make sense that my digestion is getting better? Even though my low back pain is kind of there a little bit, but not much. And I'll say, yeah, remember when we spoke in the beginning, we showed you that diagram. And I'm just sharing this with all of you. So, your autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system which controls all your organs. It's a very important part. It's about 45% of your central nervous system. It helps keep us alive, right? So when that person is getting their lower spine adjusted, their lumbar spine, it is having a direct effect on the neurology that goes to the gut. So your intestines and your colon and things like that. So digestion and assimilation. So these people are getting well, and these things are changing. So I re-bring them back to our initial conversation. So being a chiropractor is really cool. I get to see that part of the world, people feeling better, people having organic things shift and get better. I also get to see athletes perform better and faster and stronger just by adding chiropractic care to their regimen. So being a chiropractor for me is so cool. I get to help people shift their lifestyle, open up their eyes to a drug-free way of living, which is absolutely awesome. I've been getting adjusted since the day I've been born, since the first hour I was born. And I know some of you that may sound crazy, but I think you need to look into some pediatric chiropractic, and I'll drop some resources in the show notes for that. Just so you have ideas. It's super safe. It's very effective, and it's amazing seeing kids in our practice that have things like ear infections get well, but also seeing the clarity in these kids' eyes after they get adjusted. It's so amazing. Their tone in their body is a complete, will have a complete shift. It's so neat to see. I mean, parents see it. I get to see it. I'm not even a parent. So that's my chiropractic side. I've got a brother and a sister. Brother is a photographer, videographer, crazy motorcycle guy. And my sister is a chiropractor as well. She doesn't practice at this moment. She's married to someone we actually had on the podcast, Ben Silverman, who's a PGA Tour golfer. First year on the tour this year. So we're rooting for him. So we grew up in a family that was vaccine-free. None of us were vaccinated. I know that sounds crazy also to a bunch of you. But we are like the clean kids, if you will. We haven't had mercury, thimerosal, all these additives put into our bodies at a young age. So we're kind of clean slates when it comes to being exposed to toxins and germs and these types of things. And people are always concerned and worried. When I say I'm unvaccinated, even though it's becoming a much more common thing in the U.S., it's really neat to see the questions that come to play, like, well, aren't you worried you're going to get sick? Well, no, of course I'm not worried I'm going to get sick. I have a naturally innate, healthy immune system, but if all those vaccines actually are supposed to be working, would it make a difference anyway, right? Because they're supposed to work and supposed to prevent disease. So for me, growing up this way is really neat. I've been exposed to lots of different things. I've been to third world countries. I've been in Africa, Dominican Republic, Haiti, things like this, and others as well. But it's really a really neat situation that I get to experience life this way, because the further I go down this road of health and wealth and longevity and well-being, I'm starting to see more and more parents start to wake up and make more decisions to not vaccinate their children based on safety and based on, letting their body just get their innate born wisdom, have that health grow up right inside of them versus be injected into them. Because their body's not missing anything when it's born. We don't need to inject things like thimerosal and antifreeze and all these other things. I mean, that's a choice for every parent to make. If I was a parent, I probably would not be vaccinating. Actually, I shouldn't say probably. I definitely would not be vaccinating my children. But I'm not a parent, so I'm not going to go too far down that road. Also, a little bit more about me. Both my parents are my father is a chiropractor. My mother is not, but they are so active in the chiropractic world. My father practices sometimes a couple days a week, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes with me, and but he travels the world teaching chiropractic, working with the university to help spread natural health care around the world, which is an awesome, awesome thing to do. And I think it's such an honor to have him be a mentor, and that, and my mother as well, for someone that is by his side. And really, believe it or not, I think she does quite a bit behind the scenes, and I don't know if she actually gets recognized for them. So parents are super cool. And what do I like to do? You see stuff, I've been running, and that's what's been on the podcast, doing my ultramarathon, a marathon. And, I was not born a runner, far from. I grew up, I played baseball as a kid, and I really was involved in, alpine skiing. Absolutely, absolutely love skiing. Still to this day, I love skiing. I know you can't see what I'm looking at right now, but in my room here, I got a picture of me standing in the backcountry of Utah, taken by my buddy Scott Graziosa, and it's a pretty epic picture. Maybe I'll share it online with the crew here, but I kind of look like a pro. I'm not a pro. I think I'm a decent skier, but I'm far from a pro. But I actually love skiing. I was an alpine racer for, I believe, almost 20 years, really close to, and loved going fast. I love the adrenaline. I love the freedom of being on skis. Man, it's super cool. For those that have never done it and may have had the opportunity to be on a motorcycle or even really fast on a traditional bicycle, that kind of freedom feeling, that's what skiing was for me. It let me stay super in a flow state, in the zone, stay super focused, but it was hard to think of doing anything else when you were actually going down a mountain, sliding on snow with sticks under your feet. I mean, it's pretty badass. Skiing is something that's been part of my life since I'm 4 years old. So it's almost almost 35 years at this point. And I've always had a passion for helping people do things and helping people in bad situations. Just like one of the earlier examples that I could think of, as I won't say an adult, but as a teenager, I was 16, we had some flooding in the area, and I was the punk kid that wanted to go drive my pickup through all these, I won't say puddles. I mean, they were like, 2 and 3 and 4 feet deep, but I would go and help get people out of cars. I would wade through water to see if people were in homes. I did everything in my efforts to help people. And I absolutely love doing that. I like the adventure behind it. I like the fulfillment that, it gives me, but also that I get to see how and feel what other people are feeling when they have someone just show up and help them with no other reason for showing up and helping them. So I've been doing these types of, things throughout my life, someone's stuck in the snow, I'm the one that pulls over, uses my truck to help tow them out. I actually did that last year to a Prius who was driving in the snow. Not that I'd recommend doing that in the snow, but I used my pickup and we pulled him out of a snowbank and he was on his way. And so the desire to help people's always been around. And that's kind of how I got into chiropractic school. But I want to share with you a really neat story of how Lifestyle Locker, the thought of Lifestyle Locker actually came to. This is really neat. I may have told this on another podcast, but this is really neat. So when I was in undergrad, I didn't have any thought of actually going to become a chiropractor, go work with my father in New York City. What I actually thought of doing was going to school. Well, I was first in school on a skiing scholarship. I thought I'd be in the Olympics. That did not happen. As all of you know, you have not seen me in the Olympics. So, long story short, I get injured in a car accident on home on a break. And that following year, I leave college in Vermont, come back to New York State, and I enroll in a community college here so I can figure out what I really want to do in life, because my major, if I remember exactly correctly the name, it was Leisure Resource Management. And it was whatever I had to take so I could ski. It was the easiest thing I could do. I was not the best kid in school, the best student, especially early in undergrad, because my primary focus was be on the snow, hang out with my buddies, see my girlfriend, which is now my wife, and that was my MO. So go to this community college. I started taking a couple of classes. My father said, just take everything, take some business classes, take some science classes, do something. Just take a bunch of different classes. So I ended up taking a marketing class. It was one of the earlier classes I took, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So long story short, I'm cruising through getting ready to transfer to another school, and I'm getting ridiculously awesome grades in the community college, but I fell in love with marketing, and I was willing to put in the work. And I can tell you what, when you're willing to put in the work and the time and the energy, things get easy. So I'm doing this. We're sitting in a course, I think it was called Business Ethics or Honors Business Ethics, and we're talking about how devious and defiant these pharmaceutical companies are, and how immoral they were by paying doctors with trips to Hawaii to get more people on more medications, buying them cars, homes, all sorts of things. This is actually very, very early, either I think late 90s or very early 2000, maybe 2000, 2001. We're talking about this, and it really pissed me off. And I decided then that it would be my mission and to create a company that would be able to disseminate and share information on health. I believe I was probably about 18 years old, maybe 19. I don't remember the exact year, so I couldn't give you the exact age. But I decided I need to do something. And I remember speaking to my father about it, and he's like, there are companies in the chiropractic world that help, market and help chiropractors get more patients into their office. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, if they already do that. So that kind of went into the back burner. I ended up getting ready to graduate, had a nice internship at Sony Pictures, and got offered a nice, sweet job to start, but I couldn't see. There was something going through my head when I was up in I think it was like the 16th floor or something like that of the Sony building, looking at the windows of my awesome room. As an intern, I had a pretty pimp room there, overlooking Manhattan, Midtown, and thinking to myself, like, holy cow, am I going to be here in 30 years? This doesn't make sense. So I didn't accept the job. I went back to the community college. But so just to say this, I graduated from Pace University. Didn't finish my schooling at the community college. So I graduated from Pace University, and I decided to go back to the community college. And my father always told me to take science classes. And I remember the first science class I ever took was in Vermont, my first college, and it was environmental chemistry. Could not have picked a worse subject to do for your first science. And all I remember is dissecting what is in a hot dog, and I'd need hot dog for a few years many years after that. But fast forward now, getting ready to graduate. Decided I need to take a science class to figure out what I really want to do. So I jumped into probably one of the smartest classes, I made one of the smartest decisions jumping into this class, I should say, which was an anatomy and physiology class, which my teacher was absolutely amazing. And she wasn't a chiropractor, didn't tell me to become a chiropractor, but I absolutely fell in love with the way the human body works and how powerful and amazing it is, and how, your heart beats because of the communication between the brain and the heart, and the brain is communicating to every single cell, tissue, organ in the whole body, and that central nervous system is the most powerful system in the world, in the human body. And and if that stays healthy, and we're starting to put healthy things into the body, and we move our body, and we do all these things, then we're going to be a healthy human being. And I was like, holy cow, I'm in love. Absolutely in love. So long story short, I hustled. I applied to chiropractic college, found out what I needed to do, what class I needed to take. Remember, I only took one science class. So I ended up having to go back to school to take all the science prerequisites after graduating with a marketing degree. I had to take all these prerequisites, and I remember registering for I don't even remember which classes they were. It might have been like anatomy and physiology, chemistry, physics, and organic chemistry, or something like that, all at the same time. And I remember the advisor at the school saying that's not a wise idea to take in the summer, to take 4 science classes in one summer session. Most people will take one. And I said, I was on a mission. I was on such a mission to get into chiropractic college. I was loving what I was doing. So I went, I hustled, I made it through every science class, actually got awesome grades, and I think everything but organic chemistry. That was the hardest class for me. And flew through, made it into chiropractic college. And long story short, I'm not going to tell you all about chiro school, but that was that was an amazing experience. Met some amazing people there. Still am very connected with a lot of people in the chiropractic world in my profession, and love them because they are the most giving people on the planet. They want people to be well. They want people to be healthy, and want people to use less medications, want people to not have to need to take these certain things, and just live vibrant, healthy lives. So love my chiro friends, my chiro family. So now I'm back, I'm practicing with my father, and this is going back, God, it's got to be like 3 years now, maybe 2 or 3 years. Someone mentioned to me, you ever hear of podcasts? And I'm like, no, what's a podcast? It's that app that's on your iPhone. And at that point, I had an iPhone. I go, oh. So looked into podcasts, found a chiropractic podcast that I love from a guy that soon became my mentor. His name is Dr. Ed Osborne. And I was listening. I was devouring podcasts, and I found other podcasts that I'd like to listen to, and more and more and more. And this guy, Dr. Ed Osborne, I'm like, man, how do you make a podcast? And then that's how this all began. I figured that if I can have a podcast, if I can have a radio show where I can share, right? I can share awesome people, share people's messages, share people's stories about triumph in their lifestyle. Because for me, lifestyle didn't only mean being healthy. Lifestyle is about a way of life. And that means everything from movement, right? Exercise, from the food we eat every day, to taking care of your physical body, right? Through chiropractic and things like this, to having a healthy mindset, to understanding the vitalistic ways and the healthy ways to think about money, think differently than the standard average person. So I wanted to be able to share this information, and the vehicle of the podcast was perfect. I didn't have to pay for TV advertising. Being in New York, it's crazy. And, I spoke with another chiropractor who has a couple of radio shows out on the West Coast and Midwest, and I think they're paying something like $75 a week to have a radio show to share their message that they want to share with the world or their community. And I had a radio show reach out to me that wants me to do a radio show. And just to give you the comparison, it was $75 for Midwest per week for a 1 hour show. So they were paying whatever it is, $300 a month. Mine would have been a half-hour show for $750 a week. Little different. So the means of using the podcast to communicate, to share with you, share these amazing stories, has been such a blessing. And I've said this before on podcasts, and when I've been interviewed, I've said this. It became a selfish thing at first because I really want to learn. I absolutely love learning. I end up reading sometimes 2 and 3 books at a time. I now subscribe to Audible so I can listen to books as well. And I also still devour lots of different podcasts. So for me, it was a selfish thing to learn directly from these amazing experts. But then it was so clear that the mission was to spread this to the world. And the podcast is that way. I'm able to spread this message. I'm the one that owns the content. I'm the one that runs the content. So I get to pick and choose who and what I want. So this is really important because modern day media, is funded by advertising, and we all understand that. And for me, media that's funded primarily by pharmaceutical companies is not the best mode of communication for me to go through. If someone or an organization says, "Hey, Dr. Josh, can you speak on a topic on our radio show or on our television?" Of course, I am going to spread the word of a healthy lifestyle, spread the word of Lifestyle Locker, spread the word of chiropractic. I'm going to do that. I'm absolutely going to do that. And just recently, I was on an AM radio station, not something that I normally listen to, but it was syndicated to 500 shows around the country. And I got to talk about, in this particular one, I got to talk about headaches, healthy lifestyle, chiropractic care, all these things. But it was actually spread out to, I don't know how many, maybe millions of people, but it was very cool that I can share. And so I hope all of you are so far enjoying this little journey down my life. And where are we going in Lifestyle Locker? Where are we going? So there are some really cool things coming down the pipe very shortly, very, very shortly. I've put together a program that is called the Lifestyle Locker Endurance Challenge. And this will be up on our site very soon, as well as you'll see it on our social media. But what you're going to find is this program is designed for people that want to jump into endurance training. And that doesn't mean this is not like the person that maybe is going from the couch to their first 5K. That program will be released probably in a month or two. We actually have that program. This is for the person that may already be running a 5K, that may be running a 10K, maybe running even a half marathon, that wants to go farther. I share tips, tools, tricks, and things that I personally use, some of the fails that I've had and some of the wins that I've had. And, this is a program that's going to be probably seen or used by hundreds, if not thousands of people, because it just makes sense. It's out of the box. It's not traditional thinking. So it's actually really cool. It's a lot of the stuff that we learn from a lot of our guests, and a lot of trial and error on my part. So we have that coming down the pipe. We have a program that's coming down the pipe for chiropractic offices so they can immerse their patients and their communities into lifestyle, because I think this is such an important message of lifestyle. And we know that lifestyle right now, based on research, lifestyle is a leading cause of health, your health, right? It's also a leading cause of disease. So we want to tip the scales in the side of health for you so you can become healthier, happier, more awesome on a regular basis. What else do we have coming down the pipe here? Let me see. We have some gear. You've probably seen me in the shirt Lifestyle Locker, and maybe you've seen some of the videos and things that have the human-powered logo. That is our gear company. The first thing we're going to have, we already had blasted through a bunch of t-shirts in the first round. We are going to be having some pretty badass t-shirts coming out very soon. Again, for the next round. They are a men's t-shirt. I don't have women's yet. I apologize, ladies. This is going to be another short run until we get things moving forward faster. They're going to be the awesome, super comfy t-shirts. I know all of you that are in the athletic world know what I'm talking about. They're like the soft, amazing, I guess we call them t-shirt material, but like super like tri-blend type shirt. And it's going to say, I am human powered. I want you to actually embrace the I am, because that is one of the most powerful, or are those words? 2 words maybe? Most powerful words that you can tell yourself. So gear coming down the pipe, possible training gear as well. And I know a lot of you like the trucker hats. We're going to see if we can get some made again. I did like them printed. I'm going to see if we can get anything embroidered, so you can have some pretty badass cool hats too. So I think that's all I want to share with you so far. And please listen, everybody that's listening, head over to iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you may be listening. Drop us an awesome review. It helps get the message out to everybody. Also, if you haven't liked our Facebook page, jump on there. I'm usually throwing great content. That's, facebook.com/lifestyle locker. Also, I'm on Instagram, and I just post lots of really cool stuff all the time. At least I think it's cool. I'm sharing me with you. It's at Dr. Josh Handt. At Dr. Josh Handt is my Instagram. And feel free to hit me up on there. Send me a what do they call it? DM, direct message or private message through there, or Facebook. Love to chat with you. See if you have any guests that you want me to actually bring onto the show to share with you or with our audience. And if there is anybody or anything, any burning questions you have, I want to be able to hopefully answer them or direct you to the people that can answer them for you. So, Locker Nation, listen, I love and appreciate all of you. I'm super amped. This rest of 2018 is going to be epic for us, and if it's epic for us, what that really means is going to be beyond epic for you. We're going to drop some serious, fun, awesome content, and all right, bye-bye. Hey, one more thing, Locker Nation. This is important, not necessarily for me, but more for the people that you surround yourself with, people you care about, people you love. These episodes are designed for you. I mean, I make them really for me to learn, but I know the world is really starving for really awesome information, and not everybody's connected with all of these guests that we have. Maybe they've heard them on another podcast, but they're saying something different on this podcast. So if you do like our podcast, do me a favor, share it with someone you love. Text it to a friend or a family member. Share it on social media. Share your favorite episode and tag me. Tag Lifestyle Locker as well. I'd love to really stay interactive with you, because the people that are going to inherit this planet are going to be the people who have the most awesome lifestyles. And this is why I say that. Because if you're healthy, one, you're going to live longer than everybody else. I mean, just listen to Dave Asprey. He says he's going to live, I think, like 180 years old, which is pretty badass. But so if we're going to be healthy and living a long time, you got to have money too. And you got to surround yourself with other healthy people that are going to be living a long time as well, so you're not taking care of people that are sick. So share these episodes, share them with your friends, your family, co-workers. I mean, like but you should, I'm just kidding. You should share with everybody. And lastly, do me a favor, hit us up on social media, and let's stay connected, because I want to make sure that you're getting the goods that you want, that you're actually getting the guests you want to listen to. So if you want someone else on the show, shoot me a DM. Connect me with someone. I'd love to learn a little bit about who you like and who else you might want to hear. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day, evening, night, wherever you are. All right. Peace out.